What's up, YouTube? We're trying to get a few more things set up. Just give me just one moment, please. A few technical difficulties this evening. Alrighty, like I said, chat is open. We was having a few technical difficulties. I think we got all those lined out and everything. So welcome out to the channel. Welcome out to the show. That is Tuesday night right now. Friday nights is our appreciation nights, whereas Tuesday nights we go through what you voted on as far as community posts, and we talk about that subject, right, each and every week. We've been putting out a quiz. Or not a quiz, but a poll. So, and being that we cannot do a traditional poll, everybody comes on and they select 1, 2, 3, or 4. They drop it in the comments, and they go about their way, right? So, this week, our questions were: so you want to vlog the trail? How hard is it to learn to vlog when you're not a vlogger? Which was the one that won out, actually, and then it was a close tie to the second. How not to pack your fear or anyone else's as well. So we're going to do two different topics tonight, but first we're going to get into the main one, which is what you voted for primarily, which was, so you want to vlog the trail. How hard is it to learn how to vlog when you are not a vlogger, right? So the comments, the chat is open, and we can go from there. So the other day, somebody on my comments, they had posted, hey, you are a natural. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I know most of the time we read those comments. Here it is. CJoy076 put, you are such a natural behind the camera. Have you ever made content before? That was CJoy076, right? So in saying that, here's the thing. When it comes to vlogging and different things like that. Now the YouTube aspect, which is what we're going to dive deep into, and we're going to dive deep into the communication part of this, is what, or the YouTube part is what has taken me the most to learn, and I'm still learning. The other part of this, I'm going to share the backstory about how I became so comfortable in front of a camera, and then we will go from there and take any questions or anything like you might have on that. So feel free to go ahead and post some comments if you want to. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up. Right here, and any time of the night you'd like to make a donation towards the Appalachian Trail, it's in the description. Here we go. So, she said, you seem like a natural. Have you ever done this before? Okay, so we need to rewind. We need to go back a little bit. Okay, so I'm 44 years old now. There was a time in my teens and in my 20s, I wanted to become a professional wrestler. Ta-da! I was real big into it, right? In the wrestling era I grew up in, 80s into the 90s, you had these group of guys that was larger than life, right? You had the Ric Flairs, the Hulk Hogans, the Ultimate Warriors, the Big Bad Boss Mans. You had the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. You had all these guys, but you also had this guy called the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, right? Great googly boogly. So some years later on in life, I would have several small businesses. I would go on to have several ministries and stuff like that as well. Back in my church days, that's a different subject for a different time, but I would do a lot of business. I would do like a lot of business orientated things that you went to, conventions and seminars and stuff like that, to learn different things, right? Just to learn different things, and you pay to go to these things. And I paid to go to this one, and there was a gentleman there by the name of, guess what? Dremel, Dusty Rhodes, right? So Dusty Rhodes comes up, and he holds up, and I've got a highlighter, not a pen. He holds up, and he's going around the room, and he's cutting. The class he was teaching is how to cut a promo, right? And in his business meeting on how to cut a promo, the reason why I think it was important, and there was quite a few, there wasn't a lot of people in there, but it was dealing with social media, commercials, and the way that this company and this organization saw media going. And so they had Dusty in there to teach people how to cut a commercial, basically, for Facebook, for YouTube, for whatever the case may be. And so Dusty goes around, he holds up a pen, and he says, "Sell me this pen, baby." Right? That type of deal. You know who Dusty is. You know what I'm saying. So I was always a very shy guy. Hey, I actually do have a pen. I never was very good at speaking in front of people, much less a camera at that point. So I was very shy about it. And I came up and I was stuttering and I was doing different things and I was shy and different things. And Dusty looks at me and goes, "Dusty's got you, baby. I got you for 3 days. At the end of 3 days, you're going to sell me that pen." So I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I appreciate it, right? That's my horrible Dusty Rhodes impersonation. But for 3 days after the seminar was over, Dusty worked with me one-on-one, which was kind of cool. And he really taught me how to bust out a promo like a late 80s, early 90s professional wrestler. And he taught me how to get things, different things. So I can cut a promo. I can cut a promo like you wouldn't believe. I really can. And I can do impromptu pretty well, thanks to Dusty. But he taught me that I would stand in front of mirrors and I would do things. And then when I would do videos, even though there was nobody watching, I would picture in my mind that there was 10,000, 100,000, 50,000 people watching. And I even do that now. Like, we got 4 people watching right now, but in my mind, that's the same as 400, right? So keeping it tuned and keeping it in. So Dusty really taught me how to dial that in. But to answer her question, as we get into this, how to be, so you want to be a vlogger type of deal, that was the question, right? That won for this week was, that's just a small part of it. You got to learn to talk to the camera, and you got to learn to be you. That's the secret. You got to learn to be you. I see some other people that's trying way too hard right now. And their channel is kind of growing, and they're doing different things. And I'm not going to call people out and saying things. Everybody will know instantly what their content is and who it is I'm talking about. But they're trying too hard right now. It's more like they're trying to put on, there's a few of them, it's more like they're trying to put on a preview of things to come versus what's going on in their life. That's why I like this guy, Tent Life Crisis, right? Tent Life Crisis, I feel like his vlog is one of the most real vlogs I've ever connected to. Not just on the Appalachian Trail, on anything. This guy, when you watch his vlog, it's raw. It's him. And it's what I think YouTube is moving towards, right? Is the realness aspect of people. The algorithm, the changes is picking up and different things. So this Tent Life Crisis guy, man, I don't think he understands what he has. And if you're out there, my friend, and you're watching, kudos, brother. You're teaching me a lot. But and it's not something that's planned. It's not something that's prepped. It's not something that's gone through and gone from there. So to give you example, I have nothing planned. So if, like, when I go to do a gear review on the gear that you guys see me come on here and do on video, that's not scripted out. That's not studied. That's not whatever. That's the Dusty of it, right? That's the Dusty of it. That's the promo of it for me, because I can take anything at any given time and I can just pitch it. I can go through it. I can go through different things. I can, whatever the case may be, right? And I can just do things at random. We may do that here before the stream's up for that. But there's people out there that are really, you can really see the realness to it. And then there's others out there, I think they're trying too hard. And the camera will always tell what it is and who it is that you are and what you're trying to do. The camera can see, is it real? And people connect to things that are real and attached to real life things more than they do anything else. Now, I could come on here with a Tim Allen type of thing, or a Steve Harvey type of thing, or or whatever, because I've went on to study even past that business seminar and study how to do certain things, right? You can do the Sunday Madness Super Sale right here on YouTube right now. I mean, there's so many things you can do, right? We've done radio DJing for a while, so I know how to cut commercials. I know how to do all of those different things and put it together to make it whatever. But this YouTube channel, Take a Hike with Jim, it has to be genuine. It has to be genuine. So if you want to be a vlogger and you want to know how to vlog on the Appalachian Trail heading into 2026 on YouTube and be successful, write this down. Find out at the end of the year if I'm lying to you or not. Number one, be yourself. Be yourself. If you are not being yourself, the camera's going to pick up on it, the audience will pick up on it, your channel's not going to reflect it. Listen, I have less than 40 days and I've done over 50 some videos. Most people only do 52, 53 videos a year, maybe 100 if they're lucky, if they get 2 out a week. And in 30 to 45 days, I've already got a year's worth of content out there. Now, I'm not saying to be bragging or boast or making this about me. It's about how real do you want it to be? How much do you want to connect with what it is that you're putting down? So when I say you got to be you, you got to be you. You know, when I'm out there talking and everything and rambling, and I even picked up on the interview. I think Wolfie was a little bit aggravated toward the end because the interview was going a little bit too long. I was waiting for him to cut the interview, but he wasn't, so I was going to run with it. I mean, you know, call it the B-roll of the microphone. I don't know what to tell you. But if you will just be you, the camera will pick up. It'll show that. Which brings me to point number 2. You're going to have a much better time. If you're not having fun at vlogging, the camera is going to tell it. If you're not having fun vlogging, the camera is going to tell it. It's going to show. I learned this from watching several through hikers and everything. And one of the things when I went in to do a vlog, one of the people I watched the most was Beer in Beautiful Places, right? I watched Beer in Beautiful Places, and the reason why I thought she was very real, very authentic. The highs were high, the lows were low. I laughed when she laughed. I felt sorry for her when she fell in the creek. I mean, there was different things there with her. I rejoiced, you know, different things. I felt a connection with that channel. Same thing with Fortune. The realness of it, the backstory, the history, the you know, the different things that he had that went on in his life. But the Beer in Beautiful Places, she had such a fun time with it. She had such a fun time, but it didn't seem like when you was watching her vlog, it was, I got to get up today. Hello, YouTube. How you doing? Today's day 23 out on the Appalachian Trail. It's been raining for 15 days. It's cold. I'm miserable. There's nobody at home, you know, that I've been able to talk to. The pointless ups and downs. It wasn't monotone. None of her stuff was monotone. All of her stuff, even in the worst of times, it felt like she was having the time of her life. And there was one point she was like, I don't know that I want to do this anymore. And she was broke down, and it was sad and different things. And she took a day or two off, and then she come back and she's, yay, cheerful again. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to connect with that. So be yourself, but have a good time. I think when you're vlogging and you're not having a good time and you're miserable, the camera's going to show it. The camera's really going to show how you're feeling, what you're going to. You can sit there and say, I'm going to be honest with you, this is the best thing I've ever done. And the camera is going to know. The people are going to know, man, this guy or this chick, whoever it is full of it, right? So be yourself, number 1, as a vlogger, going into it. Number 2, have a great time, okay? 3, if you're being yourself and you're having a great time, this third one should fall into place. Do not plan your content. Do not plan it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have plans on how far you want to walk and how far you're going to be. Like today I want to do 8 miles. Today I want to do 10 miles. Today I want to do 20 miles. And that's what you talk about. I think don't plan out in your head what you're going to say and what you're going to do before you do it, before you turn the camera on. Turn the camera on. Let the camera do its job. The camera has a very specific job. It's a tool. And if you let the camera do its job, it's going to do a great job for you. And what that is, I need you to get to the point to where you, and we're going to stop at point 3 and do some subsections here. I need you to get to the point where you're talking to the camera like you talk to your best friend, like you talk to your neighbor, like you talk to your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, whoever. You know, hopefully not your 1-900 call number. Just saying, if you know, you know. Sorry, I had to slip that in there, right? But I'm just saying, make sure that when you're doing it, let the camera do its job. So let's break it down a little bit. How you get comfortable talking to the camera like there's 6,000 people watching right now, when technically there's 6 watching according to my stream info. Nothing's going on in chat yet. And I'll say, hey, if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you're hearing and seeing, and hit that thumbs up if you like the content, right? But how do you get to the point where you can just talk to the camera? You got to learn to talk to yourself. That's weird, ain't it? 'Cause you're always told people who talk to themselves have cuckoo problems, right? And have mental illness and stuff. So I suggest that people's like, well, you need to stand in front of a mirror and all that stuff. Listen, I don't stand in front of a mirror and do all that, but I will share a funny story with you. So behind me, and you can't really see any cameras or whatever, that's my degrees, 1, 2, 3, and 4 for my black belt in Shotokan style karate system. Been doing it since I was 7 years old. So anyway, I compete in a lot of martial arts tournaments. So, or used to. So one of the things that martial arts tournaments used to do was in-ring introduction. You need to introduce yourself. But back years ago when I was a kid, you didn't do that. You had a number on your system, on your back, and they called up number 63. Actually, it's changed that. Number 670, right? So if you know, you know. Everybody's like, I'm so tired of that. Me too. So number 63, and you come up in the ring and you do your thing, you sit down. So then when they would do the judging, boom, whatever. So years later, as an adult, I go back, I got students, I'm teaching and different things, but I had to learn myself how to do ring introductions. Things have changed. So the way you do ring introductions is, hello, my name is Sensei Jim Ellison. I train at the Rising Sun Family Martial Arts, located in beautiful downtown Oak Hill, West Virginia. My instructor's name is Robert St. Clair, and today, with your permission, I'll be showing Heian Shodan. With your permission, judges, may I begin? Thank you, judges. Step back, bow, do whatever, right? And that was just an example. So in learning that, I had to rehearse it, because I'm not a guy that can just do things, that can follow a script, read a cue card, do things. I'm a guy that does things on the fly. So in order to get used to doing that, what I would do is, as I was driving to work, because at the time it was like 20 miles to work, I'd be in my car, and because you want this to be loud, because you're in an auditorium, and I always wanted to be the loudest guy in the auditorium. I wanted the judges at ring number 9 to hear the guy at ring number 3, right, over top of all the people. So I'd be shouting. I'd be riding my car, I'd be, good morning, judges, my name is blah, 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 you know, whatever the case may be. So, what's up, Jason? So anyway, I'm set at this red light, and it's in the morning, and I'm like, good morning, judges, and I'm being loud. My windows are down, not paying attention if my windows are down, right? I'm like, good morning, judges, my name is Sensei Jim Ellison. I study martial arts at the Rising Sun Family Martial Arts, and blah, 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 whatever. I looked over, and there's this woman in her car, has her window down, and she's got her head turned like this, and her head down, and she's just staring at me like I've lost my dang mind. I just turned my head straight, light was still red, that was coming either way, I just ran it, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Jason, what's up? We're talking about, so you want to be a vlogger on trail with different things, right? So, I had to learn to talk to myself. I had to learn to teach myself, train myself. So that's what you got to do. You got to learn to talk like there is 1,000 people watching, or 1,000 people out there, or whatever. You got to learn to do those things. People say talk in the mirror or whatever. I say this wherever you come. Get in the car, go for a ride, have a conversation. Go for a walk, have a conversation, an out loud conversation, just like you got a best friend there, you know, or whatever. And that will help to develop the point. So how do you deal with the nervousness? Man, I'm so nervous even when I turn on the camera, I'm so nervous, and the camera shows that, and I'm so nervous to speak to people. So here's the thing. We're doing a live right now, so it's a little bit different, But when you're doing a vlog and you're out, you have this wonderful thing called editing. You can edit whatever you want. You can do a voiceover. You can do, take that out, put music in. You can cut it out altogether. You can add some memes. You can do all kind of things. If you're an editor and if you want to get more into the editing and all that kind of stuff when it comes to being a vlogger. But the nervousness comes from you're not used to talking to yourself. One of the things I used to tell my karate students to do when they get ready for a tournament, I would tell them, I want you to go take your kata, which is your basic move set. Everybody calls it dancing or whatever. I want you to take your basic kata. I want you to go to a football game, baseball game, soccer field. I want you to go to the middle of the mall when it's the busiest night, and I want you to do your kata over and over and over and over where people can see you. And that way you get used to being seen, and you get used to getting the nerves out of doing things in front of people. So not only when you are practicing this, put some cue cards together, put some index cards, whatever you got to do. And as you're walking by people or whatever, take a selfie stick. Well, that's my thing is on my selfie stick. So we're going to use this because this is my little contraption. It usually holds my my GoPro. And you just hold it out in front of you and be walking and talking to it. Hey guys, right here, welcome to Take a Hike with Jim. Today we are right here in the backyard of the New Gorge, home of America's newest national park. And today we are going to do the Hog's Foot Trail, which is not even a real trail. But anyway, but my point is, you want to sit there, you want people to see you literally talking to an object. Block everybody else out around you, but let people see you talking to an object. Because by you letting people see you talk to an object, you're getting used to honing out the noise of worrying what everybody else is going to think. Because you're going to have some people look at you, granted, but most part, people are going to walk on by you, especially you got your phone, you got your camera, whatever the case may be there, right? So get over that nervousness, because the camera is going to show the nervousness. And, you go, well, I'm just not good in, talking in front of people. You're not talking in front of people. Like right now, the one thing I can see, I got a big image of me up here on the TV screen, and I'm looking at my shirt going, dang, he got a big belly. I got this little teeny little box right here that's in front of me on the GoPro, and I'm thinking of the genie and Aladdin and the lamp. Cosmic power, itty bitty recording space, right? So I'm just saying, if you know, you know. And so it's there, right? It's there. So in vlogging, become a vlogger, and then, everybody's like, I gotta have like these big cameras. Some people script their videos, some people do. I'm not a guy that can, but some people do script their videos. I recommend just flowing with it, but that's my method. Kind of like there's method actors and different things like that. So, a couple of Java, give me a second. So, in saying it, but Jason's got a point over there in the chat. So, in saying that, right, get used to all of that. Go out in the woods, go for a walk, talk to the trees and everything. Like people, it was kind of funny because when I was learning how to get used to talking around people, I'd walk by a group of mailboxes and there'd be people coming by, and I would use this as an opportunity. I look at the mailboxes and be like, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you, old friend. Nice to see you again. Talk to you later. Hey, man, drop me a line. And I would just walk off, and people be looking at me like I'm out of my gourd, crazy, right? And I have buddies and stuff that look at me and be like, man, what the heck's wrong with you? They didn't realize what I was building, right? They didn't realize what I was building. I was building a sense of confidence to where I could get on here and I could talk to a camera. I could talk to a microphone. There was different things that I could do, in order to, y'all's gonna hear some shouting because somebody came in without letting us know, and the dogs are barking and carrying on. So you're gonna hear my wife do some shouting in the background. I do apologize. But I was building and trying to gain confidence when it came to presenting things to not only a group but to a camera. So I literally, when I come on here to speak, or I'm walking in the woods speaking, I'm talking to 215 subscribers. That is my current number. And then I'm trying to get every day a few more, or at least one. That is a payday. Every day that I gain a subscriber, that's payday for me. I say, got paid today. Everybody's like, how much money you making, man, on YouTube? You only got 200 subscribers. I'm not making a dime. But you know what I did make? I made 3 subscribers today. That's why I take it personal when I lose 2 or 3. I'm like, daggone, I lost 2 or 3 subscribers. I lost money, right? I'm trying to do things. I'm building confidence in what I do. So YouTube is completely new, right? I used to get on Facebook and be like, what's up, Facebook? Hey guys, it is Barber Jim right here. It's a straight edge barbershop located on beautiful 1436 East Main Street in beautiful downtown Oak Hill, West Virginia. And today we're offering an awesome hair deal. Today is Fast Fade Friday, where you're getting a $10 fade haircut all day long. I was comfortable doing that on Facebook, right? I wasn't, like, when you get on YouTube, it's a different demon. I would have people call the barber board and the barber president saying, did you see what Jim Ellison said on Facebook? And he's like, there's nothing I could do about it. I mean, why ain't y'all doing some stuff? Why ain't y'all on there doing whatever, right? I was always big about it, to the point that I, at one point on Facebook, with great power comes great responsibility, right? So one of my channels, at one point in time on Facebook, I had a lot of people, and I could get on there and say anything I wanted to, and it would just boom like that. And I had a buddy who had an airbrush shop, and he's a Marine, and he's this big muscular guy, and you know, he's a man's man. And I'd get on there, I got on there, and I was at his shop, and I was like, 'cause I was trying to prove a point to him because he didn't, whatever. I was like, hey, come on down to blah 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 blah's airbrush shop, and I'm not gonna say which one it was. And today, and if y'all do me a favor, he loves airbrushing My Little Ponies. Left it at that. So about a week goes by, wherever my buddy calls me, goes, would you please take down the video and ask people to quit calling about the My Little Ponies and request the My Little Ponies. It went to the point that his wife for Christmas had a shirt made for him and had a Jeep being drove by a My Little Pony. It was the funniest scuba, if you know, you know, ever, right? So everybody's like, did you say scuba? I did. Look it up. Yeah, Jimmy knows a little bit of Greek. So anyway, so it's the funniest thing ever. So I was able to do stuff, but I'd get on TikTok, it wouldn't work for me. Get on Instagram, wouldn't work for me. Get on YouTube. I had a weightlifting thing here me and my son tried to do. We had a few episodes, and that was back when I was skinny in shape and built. It was called GP365 or something like that. And it might have taken off. I don't know. It's just I couldn't get the algorithm to do anything. It was, there wasn't as much information out there as now about how to do things and how to get whatever. So it just did not work out for me, right? So when it comes to YouTube, YouTube's a different demon. So YouTube is changing. Let's go on to the second part of question, night question here before long. YouTube is changing, right? So when I say that, there's no better time than now for you to jump on and you to try to do a YouTube channel or to be a vlog, no matter what it be. Maybe it, like, give you an example. My buddy Jason, who's over here in the comments, so far he's the only one in the comments, so he's the one that gets picked on tonight, right? So my buddy Jason, he comes on here and he says, hey, I didn't say nothing to you the other day because I don't know how YouTubers are when Heights, I didn't want to interrupt you or whatever. So, but Jason, check this out. He don't even have to talk on videos. As much as this dude walks, there is somebody that will tune in just to hear the back soft ground music, see his camera, and watch him walking in the woods. Don't have to have no voice or anything whatsoever. Somebody's going to tune in and watch that now, because long-form content is replacing short-form content on YouTube. The only short-form content on YouTube right now that's working or that's making a darn is the YouTube Shorts, right? So you can vlog about anything. It don't have to be trails, it don't have to be hikes. You could vlog about baking cakes. You could vlog about, you know, you're going to think I'm kidding you. There's a woman out there that she's got a vlog on teaches young girls and young men how to keep their apartments and houses clean, do dishes and cook meals and all kind of stuff like that, be a homemaker type of thing. And, you know, it's out there. So you can vlog and do anything you want to do, and it's changing. It no longer has to be whatever. You just got to find your niche, and you got to find you've got to find your niche, and then you got to explore what it is you want to do. Just like Wolfie told me the other day, he goes, hey, we was off air, and he goes, I know you said you was going to do it this way when it comes to your videos on trail. He said, I don't think that's going to work for you. You might want to try this instead. I think this is going to work better for you. And I'm going to listen to somebody like that. He's got like 3,000-4,000 subscribers. I'm sitting at 200, and at that time, maybe 200. So I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to take that advice and be like, okay, so maybe I do clips, maybe I do this, maybe I do it a little bit different. But there's no one set way to do it. You don't got to have the best equipment. You have a better camera right here in the palm of your hands for the most of you than like a GoPro. I mean, you can make some very good, I don't know if you know this or not, you go to YouTube, there is people that shoot just to prove how good the camera is and how cinematic it can be. They shoot entire documentaries and entire movie films, short films, and everything using an iPhone or Android or whatever Galaxy, but mainly the iPhone, the camera system, right? They do this. You have a camera set up right here, and this is how I started out, right? And I was having a hard time because I didn't realize how, like, if you go back to my first Endless Wall Part 1 and 2 videos here on my channel, I was like, man, why is it, I'm holding it this way, but why does it keep cutting things off? And my son goes, well, because you need a selfie stick. You put the selfie stick out there, it's going to change the perception, it's going to do X, Y, and Z. So I was like, cool, so I done it, and it did. I was like, wow. So then I thought, I wonder what it'd be like to be able to do that with my GoPro, which my GoPro is supposed to be a little bit better as far as my phone in some ways, but not a whole lot of ways, but it made more sense. So I came up with a bike mount system with some duct tape and some different things, and made me a mount right there. And this is what I shoot the videos with, right? Holding it, walking through the woods or wherever I'm at, and it works out great with that. But you don't even got to have a GoPro. You can use your phone once you already have. Use what you have. Don't go out spending lots of money on heavy whatever and go from there, because you already have what you need. So, all right, that's the part of the vlogging thing I wanted to get through for tonight. I hope I answered some of y'all's questions and different things. Give some shout outs. I got some shout outs here real quick so we can get into the black and white book has returned. I got some shout outs here. Let's go through them. Be putting my old man specs on, right? So people to shout out. Laura Everly Ashley, thank you so much for your support of the channel. She's doing great things. She's going to walk the Appalachian Trail Thru Hike as well again, and we're going to be watching her because, wow, Lori Goes Hiking. We're watching Lori Goes Hiking. And as well, Lori Goes, she's got her Appalachian Trail video out there. Steven, that's all it says. His name was Steven. Watched a few of his videos and stuff, down some videos. We'll be doing stuff. Wildflower Wanderlust. I think she has a fan club she belongs to. I don't know. But she has some good videos and different things out there. She's actually doing some training in the gym and everything right now when it comes to getting ready for the other thing. Marshall's Trail Mix. Love that name. Didn't get to watch whatever. Bee Hiker Diary is going to be one that I watch, even has been out on trail too. Even if I end up walking with some of these people, I'm still going to watch their channels because there's a lot of things. The Great Pumpkin Hiker, Spoony Hiker. Spoony Hiker is went on her first snow hike, according to her video. She actually got to take her dog with her that she's not going to get to bring to the Appalachian Trail. Hey, Hike with Mike. How you doing, Hike with Mike? You doing all right, brother? So Spoony Hiker, Fraggle on the Appalachian Trail. I'm interested to know more about that name. These are people that are going to be walking the Appalachian Trail in 2026. Tent Life Crisis, which you guys know I'm following his channel very closely. Like I said, I think he's got the best raw content on all of YouTube right now. Frontline Mentality, former soldier devil dog right there. So yeah, I'm watching Frontline Mentality real close as well. Eminem on the Trail, right? Watching Eminem on the Trail. Then we got Steve Ross. Give Steve Ross a shout out as well. Long Term and Georgia Girl as well. Giving them a shout out. Hello from Florida. Hello, Hike Mike from West by God, Virginia. Appreciate you. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe, hit that like, give us a thumbs up. If anybody wants to make a donation, It's in the description. So that's our shout outs. So Jason, I wanted to go through some stuff real quick. Check this out. I done some math, right? And I cheated because Jim can't do math, right? Jim can't do math. Math and Jim don't work. So I cheated. I put some numbers in GBT. People get AT nicknames. That's still a thing. Guess who? Guess what Jim's will be? I got a nickname, and it's right? That is still a thing. It is Oh, here comes Jason. Jason will come out with what's mine will be Fat Boy Slim or something like that. Be like Trail Ghetto. Trail Ghetto, is that going to be mine? Is that what y'all going to change it to? Math. I was told there was no math involved watching YouTube. Somebody lied to you, man. So check it out. I want to share this number with you, Jason. This is cool. I put this all in Chat GBT because I'm not good at math, right? So I based this off some there's 348 million people in the United States. 348 million people in the United States. And as of 2025, there's only been about 21,500 or so people that have hiked the Appalachian Trail since registration began. So that number could be different. That's since registration began. From Amicalola or from Springer Mountain to Mount Katahdin, been about 21,500 people. There's about 348 million people in the U.S. Not everybody in that 21,500 is a U.S. citizen. We have people walking from everywhere, right? We got a guy from Spain this year, I think, so far. I've seen his video. He was on that list of stuff. Anyway, so I asked him to do some math of the number of people who actually, with all the numbers figured in, the population, the numbers, and all these other things, not to bore you with all the other numbers, because everybody's like, well, it's more like 15, 25% a year end up being able to walk the trail. No, you're wrong. Check this out. According to the math and the mathematical equations, about 0.0003% of Americans that attempt to walk the Appalachian Trail completed. 0.0003. Hey, I'm just saying, the math is what it is. I went through Chat GPT to lay that out for you. I thought that was very, very interesting. So anyway, we'll get back to the nickname thing. So let's go to part 2 of the video real quick. How to hike without packing your fears or packing someone else's, right? Or packing someone else's fears. So we'll be brief on this subject. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. Give me a subscribe right here on the channel, right? But how not to pack your fears. This is very hard. This is very hard because I feel like I'm packing my fears, right? I really do. I feel like I started out packing my fears. I went overkill when it came to my warmth and my gear. We seem to always end up talking about gear on a Tuesday night. But it seems like that, to me personally, that I went a little bit overkill because I wanted to be warm. I wanted my system very much to be to the point to where I didn't have to worry about things. And here's the thing. I even had somebody comment today, and I'm not knocking anybody. I take what everybody says, and I try to use it and gain from experience and use a grain of salt with some things not so much, right? But in saying that, it seems like all the time somebody's saying, you shouldn't use a quilt, you shouldn't use a sleeping bag, shouldn't whatever. It's a hard and a big time commitment to think soldiers back in the Civil War and Revolutionary War were hiking those mountains when there was no trail and the gear was nowhere near as good. This is true. Yeah, and sidebar note real quick. I have this big old book right here. Let me get this big old book. This is the Appalachian Trail, history thereof and everything. It's got some nice photos and everything in it. Celebrating America's Trail. This is a very, very good book. It is a very heavy book, but it has a lot of things in here in this book. And then I had taken a picture and I had posted it. I don't even remember what page it was on now. I kind of have this thing almost memorized, but I had posted what the actual old-time gear list looked like because it's in this book, right? But anyway, in saying all that, man, that's a mess back there. I got to clean up my table. So yeah, I feel like I'm packing my fears. Back on subject. I feel like I've been packing my fears as well, until I got out and started doing field tests and realized, okay, I can maybe cut this, I can maybe do that, and then learning with equipment. There's a learning curve when it comes to equipment, so maybe I can do this and do that and do whatever. So it's kind of helped me learn to my personal fears, to be prepared but not over prepared. Does that make sense? So when not learning how not to pack your fears, be prepared, but don't be over prepared. Don't be over. People's like, well, I'd rather be over than under because I can all listen. I get it. I understand. I'm a burn victim, so I don't want to be freezing cold or whatever. And then when I first started this, there was a guy out there. He was like, well, it was like -15 up on such and such mountain, and we had to do sit-ups and jumping jacks and everything, getting our tents and just to stay alive because we didn't stay at a hostel that night. And so, listen, before I get to the second part of that, you got to silence the background noise, which is extremely hard. I've said it while hiking, and I'll say it again, and I do not apologize for what I'm getting ready to say. For you people out there that are making videos and posting comments and doing all this fear-mongering, y'all people need to not. Y'all need to stop that stuff, man. Like, I watched the mini disappearances. Don't trust going out on the AT and all this other stuff. And all these weird things that happen on the AT.com. All this stuff, you don't need to post that. I understand why you do. It's clickbait. You know people are going to watch it. You're getting your numbers up and stuff like that. And the weird thing happened to me on the AT truck. Listen, like, can we honestly say that last year, probably with Metro on the Move, was it Metro on the Move? I think it was Metro on the Move. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Metro on the Move that was the one that had the bear encounter in the tent, and it kind of attacked the tent, whatever. We haven't had a bear encounter on the trail until like last year for a long time, right? So it is what it is. I mean, year before last, we had some hawks up in Vermont or whatever that was doing some attacking of people walking through, and they had to come through and relocate those. The Park Service did. But quit packing your fears. If you ever hike the Florida Trail, be prepared for days of wet swamp hiking in the southern portion. See, that's great knowledge to have. Or YouTube thumbnails that are clicks for and not incentive the video content itself. I'll talk on that in a second. That was one of my next points. But yeah, so like when Michael Mike puts what he put on there with his comment, yeah, that's kind of stuff you want to hear about. You want to be like, okay, blah 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 blah. But in saying that, you still want to not pack your fears along with somebody else's, and you have to silence the criticism out there. Do you already have someone to edit your videos? If you need someone, let's talk. I'm an editor. I like your content. Let's grow together. Right now, I'm doing my own thing and doing my own edit. I have my son who is in Los Angeles Film School. That once I'm out on trail, he will be doing that for me as well. But I'll hook you two up as far as and everything. Y'all can maybe coordinate and do something to help the channel. I'm all about helping people. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe right here on the channel, right? And support the channel, and I'll get you tied into It's Your Boy TJ, and he can help you out. Mike, yeah, I lived in Tallahassee, and some of the trails in Florida were swampy, but it is still beautiful. So, like, one of the biggest fears, give you an example, here in West by God, and I think Jason can back me on this maybe, is the number one thing here it seems like people are worried about are the bear. Anytime you go hiking around here, do you know there's bears out there? Listen, I've had 3 bear encounters in like 4 years, right? I got circled by a black bear around my tent in the middle of the night in a backcountry campsite in Green Swamp. It was intense. Now I always carry bear spray. So this year, like I said, was a weird year on the AT for bears. I don't know if y'all saw up at Neil's Gap or whatever the video. You're from Brazil. I don't know if y'all saw the video back up towards Neil's Gap, Springer Mountain. I think it was Neil's Gap actually, where the people came up on the shelter that was passing through. This was stop, eat, whatever, to pass on through. But there were some bears. They emptied out like 3 cans of bear spray. on them bears, and it did jack. I'm not saying their bear spray brand, maybe it was out of date, maybe there's something wrong with it, I don't know. But there was like 4 different hikers, and they emptied it out, and it still really didn't make a noise and all that. So everybody's always worried about bear. The only time, and like Jay said, he says I carry it, but I've only seen bears in the Smoky Mountains or Yellowstone. I haven't seen any hiking here in West Virginia yet. I had 3 bear encounters. I'm going to tell the story of 2 of them. The third one was the other day, and it wasn't really, I don't really count it as a bear encounter, even though it was. So I was walking the Ansan Rails to Trails last year, and I had a older gentleman who would walk some hikes with me. We walk down the river, we'll come back up. He's quite a bit ahead of me. I walk a lot slower. On the way down, I didn't notice any kind of bear poo, bear markings, no nothing. Great trail, great day to be out on trail. On the way back up, we'll come back up. He's quite a bit ahead of me. But there were some other people down at the river, so I thought, maybe one of those people was coming up behind me, that type of deal. I heard something, I turned around, and it was way too close for comfort. There was a bear. So I instantly do what I do. I throw my tracking poles up. I'm like, ah! Screaming and yelling and banging my poles together, jumping up and down, doing all this wild stuff. The guy that's in front of me he's way up in front of me. He sees me, he's like, Jim, what the hell's your problem down there? I was like, bear. And from the time I looked at him to say bear and looked back, the bear was gone. He's like, there ain't no bear. I'm like, there was a bear. And I'm looking over the hill, and I see the bear going down over the hill towards the creek that feeds the river. I was like, look over the hill, bear. And he's like, holy hell, bear. I was like, yeah, bear, right? so that was my one encounter. It was a little bit close for comfort. My other encounter last year coming to a place called Kennard. I was walking the trail down there. I got out and I was walking up. I thought I saw something move. I kept walking. I thought I saw something move again. Then she stepped out, and she had 2 or 3 cubs, and she was dangerously close. Dangerously close. And the one thing you don't want to do is get in between a bear and her cubs. You just don't want to do that. So I stood still for a second. She's watching me. Her cubs are watching me. She's watching me close. I started backing up as slowly as I could. As slow as could. There was a guy that was on a bike that was coming the other way on the trail. And he saw it. He pretty much wrecked his bike. And when he slid and made a noise, when he wrecked his bike, she heard it. Her and the cubs ran up the hill or whatever. Didn't have another instance there. Coyotes, yes though, coyotes. I've had a couple very, very scary, very much scary encounters with coyotes. If nothing else, I would wish that the Appalachian Trail, you could get a special permit to carry like a small caliber handgun while you was on trail, mainly because and now they've released wolves on the trail. You can watch that on Ram Dino's video from this week. They have released native wolves back into the trail. And there's certain areas, and they're telling people to be very mindful, watchful. And when you go through those parts, try to team up, walk with somebody, and make noises you go through there. Not to camp there now because of that, but it's on Ram Dino's channel. You can go watch that about the wolves. But the coyotes, I had a couple situations in here walking and different things. But once again, I can't in my pack carry a firearm, a flare gun, and 3 cans of bear spray, a can of mace, a knife around my neck, a knife in my back, red bandana tied around me, a bow over here, a chicken that I can pick up and shoot through somebody's chest there. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? I can't carry all these things. I can't have all these things. It don't make sense. And so I'm not worried about bear. I'm not worried about coyotes. I'm not worried, if you see moose, elk, whatever, stay the hell away from it. The other day I talked to somebody else like, well, when you get to Pennsylvania, you got to worry about rattlesnakes. Obviously, you haven't hiked in the New River Gorge in West by God. We have timber rattlers. We have rattlesnakes. Not like in Pennsylvania. Yes, we have some big dang on snakes here. Now, there goes my southern talk, Sparky. Big daggone snakes, right? And rattlers, huge. Here is a key thing. When you're walking through areas, the Kmore Trail is notorious for places like this, that the weeds and everything grow up around. When I get to a place where it's like I can kind of see trail, but there's weeds and it's kind of coming over the trail and different things where I can't necessarily see off the trail, I'm taking my one trekking pole ahead of me, and I'm going back and forth across that. And if there's anything that's going to hit, it's going to jump or whatever. I've had copperheads strike at that, and I've been able to step back and be like, okay, there's a snake. It's going to go down the trail. It's going to do this thing. Okay, keep walking. Nothing. Hey, JB, not lost. What's up? So, you know, snake, and like he said, snakes and gators don't bother me. They're used to them there. Excuse me. So, when it comes to hiking, I honestly don't. I don't carry a firearm. I don't carry bear spray. I carry my trekking poles. Sometimes I carry a good sized knife with me, or a little knife, and not like a Crocodile Dundee knife. I feel like that's who Jason's got his trail name. Holy shit. Jason, we hereby dub thee Dundee. Jason seems like he'd be Dundee. I don't know if it's going to stick or not, but we'll see. Can you remember the scene from Crocodile Dundee? That's not a knife. This is a knife. So, anyway, I don't carry nothing real huge like that and all this bear spray. And for those folks that do, man, congrats to you. It just is what it is. I guess it goes back to the old saying my grandma says, we walk by faith, not by sight. I don't know. Maybe one day there'll come a time that I wish that I had that. So how not to pack other people's fears as well, right? Because you'll have other people, it's just like, you know, my biggest fear is not a bear, not a moose, not a wolf, not a coyote, not a rattlesnake, not a copperhead, not a brown recluse, not a black widow. My biggest fear as far as any animal on the entire Appalachian Trail takes out more people than any other thing on the Appalachian Trail, and that's a daggone tick. A tick takes more people out on trail than anything. Look it up statistically. It is there. It is a fact. Fact check it. It is there. So, let's get to the second part. How not to pack other people's fears. How not to pack other people's fears. You got to learn to silence it, man. You got to learn to silence it, because you're going to have people be like, you know, like I said, that one guy, well, it's negative 15 degrees and blah, 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 blah. So you go back to that winter that they was out and they was on the trail and different things. Yes, it was an abnormally cold winter that year. We don't know what it's going to be from time to time. Go from there. Come to Brazil, man. I've been to Brazil once in my life. Once. That was enough. I liked it. It was pretty, but I don't need to go back there. I just don't. I mean, like Italy. There's places. I've been to Italy. Don't need to go back there. Humans are the most dangerous animals. I'm not saying humans aren't dangerous and everything. Look up the statistics. Tick attacks versus human attacks on the AT Trail. Look it up. What takes more people out on the Appalachian Trail, humans or ticks? I think you're going to be surprised. It's ticks. It's ticks. But when it comes to people on the trail and stuff, once again, trust your gut, trust your instinct. Do I need to be out there with this person? Do I need to talk? Do I need to go faster? Do I need to get help? Do I need to get away from? Whatever the case may be. There was instances last year where a girl got chased from a guy on the trail with a machete. It happens, right? So, might have been the year before last. I think it was this year that actually happened. And it was on the trek. It was, she posted a story on the trek, on the trekking blog. So, in saying all that, right, I don't, when it comes to packing other people's fears, like, listen, you got to silence it. You got to silence it. I think one of the biggest fears that I have seen since I started this journey and put it on YouTube, you're going to make a lot of people mad. Go for it. Bug spray don't work on humans? I beg to differ. Have you ever squirted somebody in the eyes with wasp spray? I have. It works better than pepper spray. But longer story, different time. True though. So, but humans can't. Here's the thing, Mike. Humans, if they bite you, whatever, it's going to be weird if they do. But if they bite you, okay, you got the whole vampire lore, I guess, or whatever. There is ticks out there, my friend, that if they bite you, you don't even know that you become allergic to meat. Deathly allergic, and it kills you. There's ticks out there, if they get a hold of you, bite you, you get this thing called Lyme disease. Lyme disease can be treated, but it never goes away. Ticks carry dysentery, like you would have in dirty water. Had that happen to me here on trail 2 years ago. in West by God with a tick, and they had to shave, and they felt the tick on my beard, and it had caused dysentery. So, and Jason said zombies, right? So there's so many things out there, but the ticks are ruthless, dude. I'm telling you, ticks are ruthless. They're silent little killers, man. I'm telling you. But anyway, going through that, zombies. Jason, come on. Oh my God, you're killing me, dude. But so, like I said, pocket other people's fears, silence it. Am I worried about being cold? Yes. If I get too cold, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna move around, do what I gotta do, take off hiking. As long as I'm moving, I'm probably gonna stay warm, especially if I have all my layers on. I don't get sweating. It's common sense things that you got to put in place. So, but I think one of the biggest fears, and I'm getting ready to make people mad, I want to jump back to this, one of the biggest fears, I think, since I've started this journey and that I've seen people put on YouTube and on every single video, there's at least one comment about it on my page. Every post I've ever done on Facebook, there's at least one comment about it. Watch your pack weight. You got to get your pack weight down. Watch your pack weight. Watch your pack weight. Listen, I understand. I get it. Yeah, see, no, like me, I got blood issues too. I'm a fat guy. I have the blood type, Mike, that the ticks really like, and the mosquitoes and stuff. I'm like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like, they get on me, they can live for like years. I mean, if you know, you know. But in saying that, you know, I understand about the whole packing, trying to get things lighter and different things, and we've and go from there. I do not have Instagram. So what's your Instagram? I do not have Instagram, not anymore. So in saying that, you know, I've gotten my pack about as light as I can get it at this point. And it ranges from 15 to 17 pounds. I try to keep it at 15. It'll jump up. I start dialing stuff back. I'm not going to be one of these people sit there counting grams and ounces, counting them and going through all this stuff and down to the kilograms and whatever and ditch stuff. Look, it is what it is. And like I told somebody earlier today, at this point, what my weight is what it is. And that's where it's going to be, because I feel people worry about it. I think people have a big fear about carrying too much weight. I don't know if y'all saw or not, but last year there was this one guy, Ratatouille, on trail, carried like 48 pounds, 45, 48 pounds, something like that. And it was mostly cooking stuff. The main thing anyone needs to listen to is their own feedback from personal experience. I agree. I share pics and stuff from local hikes, and my dog laughed out loud. The main thing anyone needs to listen to is their own feedback from personal experience. I agree with that, JB, but I also agree there's people like Chase, there's other people out there that have Thru Hike this, the group of people I met at Tutors the other day. Those people that I honestly feel that I can look at and pick through and choose what works for me based on what they've done. I can go from there. You see what I'm saying? I don't really know, but I can pick at you. Like Chase always posts some very good stuff. There's several others that post some good stuff too. Goes through 48 pounds worth of cookie stuff. Better be grilled burger steaks and stuff. They called him Ratatouille. Look him up. His trail name was Ratatouille. He was like cooking. When I talk about like steaks, I'm talking like filet mignon. I mean, he was like, wow. If I do a single overnight, I eat a big lunch before entering the woods and bring no food and cooking gear, signal for the wind. So, in saying that, I think, and we're at about an hour here. Me and Wolfie had this conversation the other day about how people, I think, carry too much into the woods for food. Because like packing their fears and other people's fears, I'm not going to go hungry, I'm going to go thirsty. You see people say, well, I wouldn't do away with your camelback pack and all that stuff because there's going to be places water is scarce. Water, and then you'll turn on and road runner, well, water, thanks for the hearts. You'll turn on other places, you see people say, well, the water's plentiful. And then, you know, it depends on what type of year, where you're at, how much rain, drought, heat bubble. There's so much more to it. And yeah, you might have had a sucky experience when you went through the trail. It might have been extremely cold for you. It may have snowed, it may have whatever. But then for other people, it may not have been like that. Like the person I talked to earlier, and I messaged about when they was talking about my sleeping bag versus my quilt. Listen, I have slept out in 32s, 28, 27, like 21, 22, 7-degree weather. And they're like, with this quilt, with my sleep system I got, and a lot of times I'm shedding down to my skivvies and a shirt underneath my quilt and still trying not to sweat even with that, sleeping, because that's how good my sleep system is as far as warmth. I'm not saying there's not going to be cold nights and that I'm not going to have all those layers and have all those things and different stuff, but for the most part, the sleep system I got, it works for me. It may not work for you, but it doesn't mean, you push your fear, because people they try to push their fears. Well, you need this, this, and this, and you only need this much weight, but you need this much food, but you need this much gear, and you should have went with this pack, but instead of this pack, you should have went with this tent. Instead of this tent, man, them trail shoes, you should have went with that trail shoe, you should have went with this trail shoe. Man, why'd you choose those socks? These socks. So people are always, good live man, like Snowman Gun Channel in English. Thank you, appreciate that. Appreciate the follow, the sub, all that. But, so, don't pack other people's fears too. When you're doing your gear set, like JB said, take your stuff out, field test it, try it for you, see what works, go from there. What system works for you, use it. No matter what it is. If you're a person that has to carry a 30-pound pack, carry a freaking 30-pound pack. Who cares? It's nobody else's business. If you're a person that get away with carrying a 9-10-pound pack, good for you. Hats off to you. If you're a person that can carry feel like you need to carry 7 days worth of food out there, carry 7 days worth of food. But if you're a person that needs to only carry 3 or 4 days worth of food because you're going to be out of town at any given time, only carry 3 or 4 days worth of food, man. It is that easy. But you cannot allow yourself to fall down the hole of what didn't work for some people. It still may work for you. You may have to try it out. You may have to test it. You may have to fine-tune it, adjust it, and adapt it. But it may work for you. But just like JBN said, the main thing that anyone can do is listen to their own feedback from their own personal experience. That is the greatest statement of the night right there. That deserves to be on a t-shirt, on a hat, and on the back of Jason's truck, on the windshield, on the back glass, right? So Jason's like, why my truck? Because I don't have a truck, damn it. Anyway, I gave my truck away. I gave it to my son. So anyway, that's pretty much where we're at tonight. So I want to talk to you. Let me talk to you. This is about another little bit here. So check it out, right? We got to work a couple days this week, actually, for a change. So there may be some days that we do not necessarily get a video posted every day. I'm still going to try, but hey, we got to do what we got to do. We are still short on a couple little things, couple little gear items, just a couple little changes and different things. Right, we also got to try to get at least a month, maybe 2 months worth of money saved up of food for when I go out on trail. So I have a little bit of a buffer with me. He put no thank you. Oh, sorry, Jason. Okay, don't put this sticker on the back of Jason's truck. But anyway, nobody better do that because I'm gonna have to answer for it and pay to have it scraped off Jason's truck. So don't do that. So I'm trying to get enough for a month's worth of food too saved up. So we're going to be doing some Amazon Flex this week, along with some other things and stuff too. So I might not be able to get out and hike and do videos every single day and go from there and stuff like that. I do have a awesome review coming of a pair of different shoes that I have. If you watched today's video, you heard me talk about those shoes. If you watched the community comments, you saw where I posted about those. But to sponsor 3 meals and snacks throughout the day for the trip in Appalachian Trail 2026 is $15 a day. It's about what I got to figure too is what I'm eating on. So donations are there. If you want to make a donation, it's in the description. That's the only time I'm going to talk about it. All right, so thank you so much for everything that everybody's doing and everything. I appreciate the support. The channel is growing. It's continued to grow. It's reached that 500 number before we step out on trail. That would be amazing. If we can step out, hit that 500 before we step out on trail. We got some things coming. We got some more gear reviews and stuff. Me and Jason needs to get together to do a hike. We was going to do one Sunday. Ended up getting sick. My son now has that same sickness, and he is down and out now, Jason. So we got some family issues going on too with some people with some health issues. So we have to play it by ear. And plus, we got a night hike we want to do as well. Me and Jason, because Jason, you know, he's going to be part of that. As far as when it comes to getting ready to go out on trail, you know, and go from there. And he's a big supporter of the channel. Him, Sparky, JBN. You know, these folks are big supporters. Pharmacy Girl, Farm Girl, she's usually on here. The lovely lady L, Laura Ashley, she's Evanly Ashley, she's on. Did I say that right? I don't know. Anyway, she usually comes on here and comments on different things as well. Wolfie as well. So, all right. Matter of fact, Wolfie had a video drop about the Allegheny Trail. Make sure y'all get on there and watch out, would you? And go over and Jason put, yup. So we need to get some stuff done and go from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time right here on Take a Hike with Jim. We will post new comments in the community section the next day or so. Make sure you get over there. Farm Girl, see, she's here. She said, I'm here just listening. I knew she was here. So, so we are going to post the new topics over the next couple of days. Make sure you get on there as always and vote on your favorite topic. Put a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Watch for the videos. Continue to like, share, and do all those things. And anybody that's over in the comments section has a channel. Make sure that you put in here. Anytime you're on here, hey, I have a channel. Check out my channel. Folks, click over. Show them some love. Go to their channel. Subscribe. Do some things. You never know when you're going to find your next favorite YouTuber, right? Thank you so much for everybody. I only got one more favor. One more thing to ask. Only one more comment.